Welcome to the start of what will be, and of course will continue to be, my A Realm Reborn relic video. I will be looking at other relics as well down the line, but of course at the moment we are starting with the warrior one, which we will be going from the very first stage. We'll be going through each bit. This is not a guide on how to make relics in A Realm Reborn, etc, etc. This is just for you guys to have a look at it. I will go through brief little steps of like what you do, what it will be after you do said step. But right now, this is the very first one you have, which this is the form it will take after you've done the unfinished one. So you've gone through the Chimera, you've defeated the Hydra, you've done all the other stuff, and this is the weapon you get, which is the Bravura. It's a bit of a strange one. You see, it's nothing too fanciful. This is their very first foray into doing relic weapons in the game, and it's a very simple axe. You probably will recognize it from the opening cinematic that the warrior uses as well. It's kind of, in a way, I don't want to call it iconic, but it is like shown a lot in artwork and stuff like that too. So moving on, once you get some Fanavian Mist, you can make it shiny. Once you have made it shiny, which is what we're looking at right now, after the Fanavian Mist, it becomes the Bravura Zenith, which at this point, if it was way back in the original Realm Reborn, things would kind of take a little bit of a halt. Now, I'm going to be honest, I can't remember if they do tell you about this, but it's kind of... It doesn't hold you by the nose or by the hand, what are you going to say it, the original relics. It doesn't tell you to do this, and I don't think you have to do it either, but I do it anyway. Yeah, you can get the Fanavian Mist or whatever it is you require from Mordona under the special weapons vendor tab. Costs like 25 poetic, so it's not super expensive. You need 3 of them and it'll make it shiny. And then once you've done that, basically Geralt no longer becomes like a part of it, and it then moves over to this other NPC who will task you with doing the most fun part indeed, which is to farm 12 Atmas, which is not from every single zone, but you have to do fates in those zones to eventually get them. You have to have the weapon equipped to do it, so you can't do it on blue to make fates go easier. You have to use the weapon itself, otherwise they won't drop. And you can get more than one, so if you're looking like I am currently still working on the remainder, I'm currently working on Bard as this video goes out, you can farm all 9 of them that you want. They do not backtrack relics, so there's not for any of the new ones. They are expansion specific, so you can get all 9 of them from each zone. It will take a bit of grind. Sometimes you'll get them immediately, sometimes you won't. The drop rate has been incredibly massively increased since it originally first came out, so it's not as difficult as it used to be. But as you can see, like, the shine is pretty good. It's shiny. It's like, and it's not a bad glow. It's not my favorite type of glow, but like it's pretty good for what it is. It's pretty good for what it is. Anyway, let's move on to what the next one is. After you've done all 12 Atmas, got those handed in, it will remove the shine, but let's have a gander at that too. So here we are, we have the Bravura Atma relic, which if you have progressed through into Heavensward, you will recognize this. It's got a bit more of a bloody aspect to it, which is kind of interesting. None of the other ones do when it comes to this form. But quite frankly, I think it's kind of good. It brings that raw ferocity and ferocity, sorry. I can't words. That warrior brings to the fights and stuff like that too. And it just like, after all my blood, sweat and tears, you literally splash it all over the weapon. It's a little bit darker as well compared to what it was originally. I don't think it's dyeable. Let's just have a little bit of a look. It is not dyeable at the moment. But yeah, at this stage, you are now doing the books, which isn't located in Mordona. It is a Makote. And there's usually like 8 books, or is it, how many books is it? It's like 3, 3, 3, and then 1. No, it's 3, 3, 2, so it's 6. It's 9 books. 9 books. However many books it is, you're required to do fates, levs, kill enemies, go into dungeons. If you're hopefully doing this later, you can kind of do them unsynced, make it easier. and you just make sure you have, I think it's 100 poetics for each book, and you'll get those no problem. Once you've done all of the books, it will be like Zodiac complete, blah 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 blah. Just make sure you don't hand in the book before you're done with it. Go back to the same NPC, hand them in, and then you'll get the next stage, which is the Bravura Animus relic. As you can see right here, it is still kind of similar size to the first one, but there are particle effects coming off of the blade and all sorts of stuff as well. After all of that blood, sweat, and tears, you've finally done what needs to be done, and it's just like, yes, finally. Now you have the fun part. This is where you require to infuse this with a spear scroll. Oh boy, the spear scroll stage. The spear scroll itself, not too difficult to obtain. You just need some ink from once again the same vendor that gave you the mist. So you just go there, you get the archaic ink. They'll tell you which one you need, and then you also need to get Alexandrite, which are from maps. You can do it daily every day from like the Treasure Seeker's Mother, which they do count towards the stuff in the challenge log, which is a pretty good thing as well. You'll always get some gil, and you'll always get 5 Alexandrite. It is 75 in total, so you do the math, it's like, not 12, I think you need like 15, 16 maps in total to get it sorted. And then once you can get maps in several ways. You can, like I said, do the daily, or, which I always recommend, is you can spend 75 poetics to get yourself another map from the same middle vendor in Mordona. You can carry 3 in you at a time. You have 1 which is already open, 1 in your chocobo saddlebag, and 1 in your inventory. Same rules as regular maps. So once you have then infused your entire relic full of these, oh my god, we're on to the next stage, which is the light farming phase. This is where you need one of those, they'll give you an anima reflection thing, and just pick your poison of which dungeon you're going to do. But let's look at what the weapon will look like when you get onto that bit. So, it gets onto this bit where it's the Animus Novus relic, which I believe actually is what it's called. Let me just check this again. Yeah, the Bravura Novus, which is what it is. Obviously, this is a replica since I've already made it before. I had to just remember the name because my brain just had a massive brain fart. So yeah, it does not start off this shiny, but yes, pick your poison, as I said, with the Realm Reborn dungeons. I recommend either Tamtara Deepcroft or Aurum Vale, which both can be run in about 3 to 4 minutes each, depending on which one you prefer to do. Aurum Vale's a little bit easier now if you're doing these at like a higher level. A lot easier to do. You can just speed right through, no problem whatsoever. But ideally, if one of those will give you a blinding rating of light after the end of it, rather than brilliant, you will get it done in no time. Make sure you farm that place. But sometimes it's better just to stick with the dungeon you feel most comfortable doing, because it always normally gives you brilliant light anyway. It will take a while. You can also do Seal Rock, you can do all sorts of content, but honestly, just dungeon spam. Have a nice podcast or something on the side, because it would take you several hours to probably do it, depending on how lucky you are. It has like an inbuilt number. You need to get to like 2000 light, and brilliant gives like 54 or something, but blinding gives like 120. It's all on the wiki. So what happens after you've done all of that light farming? Well, you get several quests. I remember saying when I said this wasn't going to be a guide. It's a rough guide, okay? It's a rough guide to help you along the way of what to expect, as well as what they look like. It does not look like this shiny until you actually complete it. But once you have actually got it to this stage, he will task you with going around and getting loads of different quests. And these are repeatable quests, which I actually recommend picking these up if you have the journal room inventory, like the journal space, sorry. Because it is actually quite ideal to have those at the same time while you're doing other relics or just content in general, because it also requires you to run dungeons and go get certain items, etc, etc. There's a lot of busy work when it comes to these relics. They change a lot more down the line, where it requires you to do crafting, it requires you to go do dungeons, it requires you to buy stuff from vendors for like 100k a pop. it's quite the endeavor as well, but it's quite good to also bank a lot of the stuff. I recommend banking up the Bombard cores from the own company as well. They're quite helpful to make sure you have quite a healthy stock of those as well. They cost like 20k a pop or something like that, so it's a good idea if you don't have anything much to spend them on. So yeah, once you've done those, it will actually evolve into one of two, well, its second to final stage, which it no longer becomes the Bravura. It becomes the Ragnarok. And quite frankly, a lot of people, myself included, still say that this relic is one of the better looking warrior relics. I mean, it's full on black and red. This suits like the PvP glam you can get at the moment. As of recording, it'll probably be available as well from the current, you know, what's going on with the battle pass types feature. It has a fantastic little glow and everything. Do not panic when the quest says that it has a chance of failing when you do certain things. It does not at all. It's just there to give you a bit of a semi-heart attack for no reason. It's just some fluff, really. It's funny. I like it. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or not, and it's fine. Got a lovely little red glow. It's just so nice, and it's just like got like a sort of the devil. Like if you play Persona, which I'm going through at the moment, like Persona 4, like the Arcana, it looks like the devil that does there, and it's just So yeah, there you go. That's your first step of the Zodiac weapon. If you want to get it to the final stage, you need to go to a certain NPC, which they do mention, who is sort of like Geralt's rival. I think he's meant to be his love rival in a way for Rowena, but I mean, whatever. And he has the Zodiac things on him, where there's 12 of them. It's the same sort of deal with the light. Pick your dungeon. Like 1 to 2 runs will, depending on like what it's currently at in terms of its light giving, will max it out, and you have to infuse it. Just you have to make sure you got 50 poetics for each one. He will charge you poetics for them, and then you get to its final form, which is, let's just have a little bit of a look. The Ragnarok Zeta. Now it doesn't look quite that much different, but believe you me, like that glow, like you just have it there on your back, and then just you bring this out, that wonderful double axe glow that just comes out from it. I honestly think they really outdid themselves with their own reborn relics sometimes. Like they are some of the better looking ones. I love the sort of the red glow that comes from it. It's got the black sort of mist coming off it too, and you know what's even better? This version is dyeable. Now I will warn you that like if you are to accidentally destroy any of these, you do have to start them over again from the very beginning, but you also you are needed to have these on your person to actually get the replicas as well from the vendor in Bulgar, in you know, North Shroud. It's not like the other relics where you don't need to have it on you, but these ones you do. It's like old coding, you know, it is what it is. But since this version is dyeable, let us have a little look at it. What's it like when you dye it? I'll just go to the back. And if I recall as well, the best part about this is it also dyes the actual glow itself, which yeah, is pretty good. You see there, the glow itself has changed to a more pale, like a more pale white, and it does dye the blade mostly, but you don't really see much difference. This little black blade there too. I think you see something a bit better if you go for, like, say, a bright red. Yeah, look at that. Look at that beautiful glow. Let's just sheath that for the moment. That looks pretty good in ruby red, I'm not gonna lie. I'll give you some different versions just so you can see. Can I just sort of scale this window to be a bit bigger, please? So it's at 180% so you guys can get a nice better look. I really wish it would stop bobbing up and down when you see that. Of course, the music in the background playing is from the Crystalline Conflict. The Feast is lovely. Now, not all of them will change the glow as well, but it does at least give the illusion that it will do. It's just the way it goes. Like, some of them don't really change when it comes to the color of the glow, and some do. But quite frankly, I like the look of this axe anyway. I prefer the black and the red and the all that sort of stuff. I think you guys know by now what I prefer when it comes to certain stuff. And this is definitely one of the axes I actually do not use at the moment. I like it, but I'm not gonna lie. I like the Heaven's Ward axe more. But that is the A Realm Reborn Zodiac weapon from beginning to end, each and every single form. I am trying this as a new different format as well. So I hope you guys enjoy what I've done with this. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on twitch.tv/Wobsy. If you want to see more videos like this as well, there will be more down the line. I'm going to go through as many of these as possible. I have all the Heaven's Wards ones done. I have quite a lot of Stormblood relics done. I don't have all the Shadowbringer relics done, but I will work on those eventually. And I will definitely get all the Endwalker relics done as well. And I will probably do those stage by stage. And I'll try and get the remainder of the Realm Reborn one done too. But yes, take care of yourselves. Ciao, ciao for now. Bye!